Welcome to Seasonal Talk. I'm your host, Thabreakmaster, and we are here today to talk about this week's anime. Welcome in, Ace. Thank you, sir, for always being in here and doing the lurk, doing your deeds, doing the deeds. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you. But nah, man, we are going to get into an interesting hot topic because I don't know how people are going to feel about this one. I'm just going to say this right now. I don't know how people are going to feel about this one, but it's a talking point that I do have. And it is something I would like to discuss. And this is definitely something I want to have some back and forth with if we can when it comes to the stream here today. But obviously, before we get into the hot takes, we're always going to get into the anime of this week. We're also going to figure out what anime is anime of the week this year. This week. I was about to say this year. This week. All right. But we all kind of know what it is. Like, it should be pretty obvious who won anime of the week for today's stream here. If y'all don't know, I'm sad for you guys. I'm sad for you guys even. Like, it should be no brainer. That it's not like the episode was perfect. I do have my complaints, but it still was a bop, regardless of anything else. It's still a goddamn bop. And sir, what is that? What is that? You know, dropping in to say, gotta say hi. Gotta do chores. Hey, understandable, Anna. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. I appreciate the lurk and everything. Hey, go watch your movie. Go watch your movie. Come on now. You know, it's Wakanda Forever or something like that. You're gonna go watch that, right? Right? Yeah. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead and get this show, this gravy train, rolling. With obviously the first episode we need to talk about is Blue Lock. Is that Blue Lock? I mean, look, this episode's actually pretty good. This is a turning point for the team. This is a turning point for Blue Lock. This sucker here, his name was like Kion? I think is what his name is, right? That sucker that's on his team, right? Trash. Complete and utter trash. This dude scored three goals. They're like, oh, yeah, we're all excited. Yeah. But then this sucker all of a sudden said, actually, I'm working on the other team because he had this plan that he thought up. He had this plan. He had to set this whole thing in motion, right? He knew that given how the team is running currently, we going to struggle to even make any W's with this team. So you know what? He said, I'm trying to just get mine, all right? The way the Blue Lock system works, even if you are like the lowest team, you can still go forward in the Blue Lock tournament, this whole thing that they got going on here, if you are the top scorer or the top person on that team. So he's like, all right, instead of worrying about trying to do teamwork, yada, 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 let me devise a plan to make me look as good as possible and then get my rest of my team eliminated. That way, at least I know I'm good. That's what this guy's doing. And I was like, Colin, really? Trash. Straight up trash. Get this man out of here. So we got some turmoil going on here in this Team Z that we got here, right? But there's this other character. It's the guy with the pink hair. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's been very reserved. We don't actually know what his ability is either. Everybody has a special talent, right? He never said what his special talent is. Cone made a whole list of all the talents, gave it to the other team. They know everything about them. They don't know anything about this guy outside of the two people that are on the other team that they're facing against, because they know about this guy because they used to play with him back in the day. But he could be different, but he also could be worse. Who knows? But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out next episode, because I know he's looking at all this. He's like, God dang, this is some buffoonery. So this should be very interesting. This is starting to heat up. It's starting to heat. The frying pan is going, and we are making the walk. You know, I got the walk to Poland. You know, we eating. I don't know what this is. And welcome in, Zaya. Welcome in, Zaya. Chigiri, thank you. Chigiri is his name. Chigiri is about to go in. We're about to see this man actually be good, and all of a sudden be like, he's the top scorer. All of a sudden, he's gonna dominate. I freaking love it. Never trust someone whose eyes are always closed. So you can't trust Brock? I mean, Brock from Pokemon? You can trust that guy, right? You can trust him. I mean, typically, though, you're kind of right. Because, like, you go to Bleach, you have Ginichimaru. You look at that dude, you already know he's up to no good. But he's actually not a bad guy. But then he was up to no good at the same time. So you can't really trust him. I mean, I don't know. Like most of the characters actually are kind of bad. Look, that's besides the point. All right. I wanted to trust him. All right. But then he got me too. I was a gullible fool. Why you gotta do this to me? Come on, man. I didn't see the reference coming from you of all people. Look, I had to do it. All right? We are hip. We are we are new. You know, we go with the trends now, all right? And look, I am not a dinosaur. I go forward, all right? Welcome in, Ahmed. We're currently talking about Blue Lock. What do you think of the episode of this week's? Because Colin out here portraying his whole team being complete trash. And it's a shame. It's a shame, really. But Yagiri is about to change everything up. I'm looking forward to this. This show is heating up. This show is good. This show is really good. But I have to admit, this is not the show that won Anime of the Week. This is not the show. Very close. I'm not going to lie, though. Very close. This is a really good episode. Probably the best episode so far for Blue Lock. Yes, I said that. No spoilers. I mean, if you're not here, you can always come back and watch the timestamps, obviously, of what other shows you are watching currently. Otherwise, you also got the hot take that is later on in the whole thing here. So, well, it is what it is then. Hey, well, do what you got to do. While you do that, we'll move on to the next show, which is Mob Psycho 100. Which now I see what we're doing, which is interesting. Now I see what we're doing here, which is I wasn't sure when it comes to Mob Psycho, like, what was the next step after the whole Dimple thing that happened, right? And the tree and all that stuff. So I was really curious of what we were going to be doing here. Now I kind of see. What's interesting about this is we're kind of diving into, like, the other characters, which is cool. I'm kind of glad about this. And this is what I'm talking about. This show knows how to develop their freaking cast of characters. You know, Kurita is the one that's kind of shining in this week's episode here because she has the whole psychic group that she has, the club room that they're in, right? She realized they didn't really make any, like, memories. They were just there kind of hanging out, right? They never really did anything with actual trying to learn about, like, psychic abilities or any of that stuff, right? And it kind of got to her. She was the one that really cared. Everybody else that's in the group didn't really care like that. So she disbanded and was like, all right, I'm just going to focus on getting my work done, like Am is doing right now, right? And we're just gonna let this go. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. But to keep the dream alive, to keep this thing going, to create a memory, they found a way. And actually, I wrote some notes because there's a character. I'm actually shocked by this. I'm super shocked, and this is a credit to their writing. This is another credit to their writing. I am super impressed by this, right? There's a guy named Tanakata. This guy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was within season 1. He was a dude that was initially a part of the group, but left a long time ago. He didn't want to be a part of this. This dude came back, and come to find out, he was a he was a whole psychic himself. I was like, it threw me off. I didn't expect that. So that was kind of cool because what they were trying to do in this episode is trying to find somebody that can do telepathy, basically, right? So they're trying to find somebody that can do that. So with the help of Mob and the two twins that are able to, like, read minds and stuff like that. Or not read minds. They can kind of read each other's minds. They can't read other people's minds like that. But they talk to each other in their own mind, basically. They got these three together. They sent out a signal to see if they can find any other telepaths out here to see if they can have somebody to help them do this mission, which is get in contact with the UFO, basically, right? They do this whole thing, and this dude comes by, and yeah, he's good. He's really good. So they're gonna help him out. They're gonna get it done. This is about to be a nice little moment here. Like I said, this is this is more slice of lifey, right? They're doing their thing here, but this is what I'm talking about when it comes to his writing, though, when it comes to his other characters, when it comes to making everybody matter, this is kind of how you do it. This is kind of how you do it. I'm really, again, I'm really surprised by that. Also, I respect calling for his plan. Yeah, I mean, hey, even though it's trash, it's a good plan. All things considered, talking about Blue Lock, but yeah, I feel for Tanekata because the thing about him is that his power is really good. Right, he can read minds. He can read anybody's mind, and they just all going. You know how usually when you have like the ability to read minds, right? You have this situation where you're hearing everything, all the time. So, you know, as his powers grew, it got worse and worse. So yeah, like these earplugs in. He's trying not to use his ability. He's trying to lock it away. Initially, when he went into the telepathy club in the first place, is because he wanted to try to find people that are like him, but there was nobody like him. But then Mob, and this is something that was super interesting, Mob found a way to convince him, and it just goes to show you, like, the characterization, like, the development, like, the old Mob, the old Shigeo would not have done this, not in this manner. Like, the way he was just more reliable, more forthcoming, you know what I mean? I love to see it. His characters coming full circles, coming all together. It's impressive. And like I said, this is why I really enjoy this show so much, because you see the growth, you see the development of not just Shigeo, but for everybody in the show. And it's nice to see. It's really nice to see. And like I said, all these other characters literally come back. So it makes them matter. It makes the world of Mob Psycho kind of matter. You know what I mean? And you know what? Round of applause, honestly, just for that, because it's not easy to try to write a story like that. But again, this man doing it. This is why I love Mob Psycho. This is why I love it. But we'll see how this whole thing goes. It was a kind of a rocky point. It was funny because both Tanekata and the sensei, right, Ringen, they both overslept. There was a funny moment in here that made me laugh out way too much. Ringen woke up and he was like, "Oh snap! I gotta get over there." He bolted his butt as fast as he could over there. He got there 2 minutes before they even got over to the into the meeting point. But he was sitting all like sweating. Like, I don't know. That crowd got me. That was really funny. That was really funny. But no, this again, solid episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're gonna do here, because it's a 2-parter. It looks like. So I love to see what we're about to go here. What kind of memories are gonna be made. Right, and what other development we're gonna get when it comes to Mob and the gang, right? So I'm looking forward to it. Really good. This, though, still isn't the show that got Anime of the Week, but we move on. We move on. Unfortunate. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are we doing? So we now have My Hero Academia Season 6, the best season so far for this show, because god dang, this show is Shigaraki is just stealing the whole thing. It's stealing the whole thing. But how are you doing, Fortune? Tell me what you're doing. How have the anime been for you? I'm just, again, from where we left off was the Nomus, right? Yeah, Nomus came by. We had the big gigantic sucker running around, and then we also got Shigaraki, and Shigaraki's getting better with his ability, obviously, because he's now awake, and he's waking up even more. And it's just like the #1 hero is having problems with fighting against Shigaraki. He knew. He was telling himself, he's like, dang, I can't fight this man alone. I was like, bro, that's not good. You're supposed to be the #1 hero, man. You're supposed to be the beacon of hope. And if you can't do it, then who else is supposed to do? Like, that's why All Might was the GOAT. All Might was the GOAT because All Might was the one that fought everybody, and he did it himself. He was down since day one. He's trying his best, and obviously Shigaraki is literally busted. One of the most busted characters I ever goddamn see in the goddamn show. So it's just it's a shame, and it's scary to see. And I expect some heroes to die here. I expect some heroes to die in this whole altercation. Now that Shigaraki's starting to wake up, getting his abilities better, the big dude is on the scene, running around, stomping on people. And we also got freaking Mount Lady trying to stop him. Mount Lady can't do nothing. She getting tossed around too. Like, this situation is so dire. I'm looking at this right now. I'm like, these heroes, they don't even have like the abilities. There are some really trash heroes out there, right? You get that one sugar dude, the sugar rush guy, right? He just gets stronger based off of sugar, but I mean, he has a limit. He ain't gonna be able to do anything. What can he do? We have the girl that's invisible. Okay, like it's like, you know what I mean? Like there's just so many people that don't really have any actual usage when it comes to, especially with situations like this. Like what was to do? You know what I mean? Like it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But way this episode leaves off, the girl that can create things with her skin and all that crap. I can't remember her name at the moment. Maybe y'all can tell me. But she has to devise a plan, right, to be able to stop this big son of a gun from wrecking the whole city, because he's not at the city yet, but he's moving quick. So she has the stuff, some anesthetics to make him get knocked out, and she's making a lot of it. I'm curious what kind of plan she's gonna have here, but she's gonna try. She's gonna try. Yeah, exactly, Fortune, exactly. Momo, thank you. See, I knew you all would come through, because I'm like, I can't remember her name. It's been a minute, but Momo, I mean, like I said, she's the one that's supposed to have like this, like, she always has like a really good game plan, right? She's the one that can come up with plans in hot situations and stuff like that. And it's like, I understand, like, again, they're trying to build these other characters, but it's just like, I don't know, it's Yaya Rosu, actually. That's the whole name, actually. Now it came to me. Now it just came to me, Yaya Rosu. But regardless, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's the thing. I don't know if it's gonna work. All right. Yeah, she's gonna try. She's gonna try, but I don't know. It's like it's so weird for me to feel this way, but it's just like I don't really like the villains have such OP abilities. You know what I mean? Even like Shigaraki's like team. You know what I'm saying? Like Dabi, look at that dude. Like I don't know. It's not looking good. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but it's just like it looks so dire. It looks so dire, and I expect some people to die. All right, because this is not good. I'm stressing right now, but this is a solid episode this week. Very solid episode. And good and cool with anime. Cool. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the heroes like what the hell? Exactly, right? I wish there's better heroes. I'm telling you. When we saw this sucker that was a freaking Windex bottle as a hero, you knew it was over. You knew that they had some trash suckers as heroes, okay? You had that one dude, what was his name? Steady Go? He just like slides? Like, what was that dude? What's that guy gonna do? He gonna slide his enemies away? Like, don't get me started with the redirect sucker. I mean, I was thinking about the usage of him, but it's like still, he just redirecting things. Like, he gonna get hit at some point, and then we fight the Giga Machia dude. If you were to try to redirect him, you gonna get punched. It's over for him. Like the villains they got the best of the abilities. They got the gnomes as well. It's just like, this is ridiculous. I don't know. Like I said, I'm stressing about this. Welcome in Short Stuff. You're so weak in comparison. And they're just so weak in comparison. That's the thing. And I don't know how they're gonna do this. And it just always falls upon, it feels like Deku, because Deku is actually on the scene fighting with the #1 hero, especially with freaking Bakugo. Though Bakugo is doing stuff, but it's not doing anything. Which I suspected as much. I mean, Shigaraki has, massive durability now. Like, I'm pretty sure he can take a full 100% punch to the face and get back up and be like, is that all you got, huh? What is that? Is that all you got, little boy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gonna do something like that. Like, I don't know. Like I said, Shigaraki is they take over the world, guys. Hey, do you guys like villains? Do you guys like villains? Because my villain academia is here, baby. All right. Oh yeah. True. The Cementos dude. That was actually not a bad fight, because he found a way to win. I was like, all right then. Granted, he wasn't the ice dude wasn't up there like trying to fight him all the time, so he slipped up. Got distracted, and that's when Cinnamon Toast Crunch over there, Cinnamon Toast crunched them. You know what I'm saying? Crunch, baby. Hero just went out of plot convenience. Hey, oh, okay. Oh, wait. Are we going into hot takes? Are you feeling hot tonight? I'm just saying, what's happening here? Usually villains can't really lose here, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, at the end of the day, it'd be weird if they actually lost. If I'm being honest with you. This is one of those situations where it's hard for me to see the heroes actually winning. I don't know how they're going to do this. But like I said, this is just how I'm feeling. I see you guys feel very similarly in the situation. I'm curious to how the writing's gonna be when it comes to trying to write this up. Who knows? Maybe Bakugo might find another way to use his ability. Maybe Deku will unlock something, one of his other abilities. You know what I mean? There's still situations, there's still things that can happen to make this work, you know? But again, it really kind of relies solely on the main crew, which is kind of funny that we don't see Todoroki around. But I digress. Man, you gotta touch anywhere on your body. And oh, exactly. All you gotta do is get one touch. All I need is one touch. And then he's gonna be supreme, baby. He's gonna be slow. But no, this is a solid episode this week. I'm loving this season. This season, though it got me stressed, I'm loving this. This is by far just some amazing like work that's going on in season 6. I'm so glad we're watching it. I'm so glad that I'm a fan of My Hero Academia at the end of the day. Because I was criticizing it at one point. But no, this is some good stuff. But this is actually not the show that won Anime of the Week this week. I'm just saying, maybe for you guys. We're not there yet. So let's move on to Spy X Family. Okay. All right. I want to do a bit of a comparison right here, right? Well, before I get too heavy into this, but we have Mob Psycho that we watch, right? And we also got Spy X Family. And Mob Psycho showcases how you develop your characters, how you make even these side characters feel like they matter more, right? Versus what we're seeing this show here. It's just, this episode, I'm not gonna lie, felt like straight up filler. This felt like a filler episode. I was like, it's not that it wasn't entertaining. That's the thing about this. Like, it's not like I'm not enjoying the show to some degree, but I have to keep questioning myself about this. Like, what are we doing? What are we progressing to? Because there's no progression. This episode literally had zero progression. We had this new character named George, and his family is pretty much got bought out by the Desmond family. That was like the first half of this episode, and he thought initially that his father's company was going out of business, so he ended up getting all sad and trying to get everybody to be on board with him on his last day. Since he thought this was gonna be his last day at the school, so he's like, "Hey, can I have this? Can I have that? Can y'all show me some love? Can we sing a freaking musical together, like one time, please?" And we all come together and we all be one. You know what I mean? Like he was just like in his feelings, but then, you know, Desmond's the group ended up actually buying his company out and allowed his family to still actually work under them and everything. So it's like, hey, you're good. Good story. There it is. Beautiful, right? And then the other half was just it was just your trying to get the PE clothes to Anya. That's it. That's it. Like, I mean, she was like concerned because she thought she was gonna like, you know, get expelled because she forgot something. Like, it's some irrational thought that she had. So I'm just like, okay. But again, it's like, why are we wasting all this time? Like, my criticism right now is like, why are we wasting all this time when we can have episodes that have more meaning, right? Anya is well-developed. A well-developed character outside of being very gag-like at this point. I'll say that much. Yor needs so much more development. It's stupid. Stop playing around. Give me some Yor-centric episodes. Focus on this girl. Let's actually see what's really going on with them and catch more of that dynamic with Yor and Lloyd and everything, right? Lloyd's company, the dude that was like, you know, he had a whole girlfriend situation. That was a funny episode, but it's like, you could have actually did more with his actual character to learn more just about the guy, right? We don't even know much about the dude, that Lloyd's friend, that one guy. I can't remember his freaking name, but this is what I'm saying. I can't remember his name. and then he also got the handler. You could have easily took some time to actually develop the handler. Like, we have like little snippets of there, but we could actually showcase some of that. Like, why not? It's just like, we have all these other side characters, but we're not taking time to actually develop these characters. It's just like, we're just making jokes. And it's like, I mean, it's nice. It's not bad to watch. It's fun, right? But it feels like it's nothing at the same time. So I'm sorry. I got a whole thing. I started ranting. My bad. My bad. It's just like I don't know. I'm getting annoyed with the show because it's not like I don't like it, but god dang it, it's like I know the show can be better. The show can be so much better. The first season showcased how it could be better, and it's like you're not doing that. It's like, come on, god dang it. Oh, that was so hilarious. I met people like that. See, I mean, like I said, it's not like it's not funny, but it's like we could definitely do more. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. When they're running out of episode ideas, I mean, that's what it feels like. That it's like what's also kind of like irking me a little bit, right? This is not like it's One Piece or like Bleach or Naruto. It's not like a long running show like or Boruto, right? It's not a long running show where we need episodes where it's just like super chill. We ain't doing nothing. This is a show. We're on the second half. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be on break at one point, or it's gonna stop at one point. It's like we don't need filler like this. You know what I mean? Like you can make some of this stuff matter a little bit more. And it just feels like after like what? These last 3 episodes, it kind of felt like that. We're not really doing much. It's so weird. Like outside of the whole situation with the dog. Speaking of the dog, why aren't we developing the dog more? Why isn't there an episode for the dog? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. One of my favorite episodes for Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? The episode with freaking Momo. It was no dialogue, all right? The episode was fire, though. You know what I'm saying? Why can't we get that with the dog? This dude got future sight, bro. So, like, okay, all right. I'm getting too hyped. I'm getting too hyped. Calm down. But I'm just saying, they got to take some time, start really developing this stuff. They can do it. I know they can. This show can be great. But right now, it is a bit overhyped. Is it trash? No, but it's not. It's not that good. It's not. It's not. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna keep it real. This has been underperforming massively for me. But that's just me. I don't know how y'all feel. I don't know if y'all agree with what I'm saying. But this is what I'm feeling right now for Spy X Family. And I know I was gonna get this hype, but here I am. Obviously, this show didn't get the goddamn anime of the week. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. All right. Avatar, welcome in. You just missed my goddamn rant because I got upset talking about this goddamn show. But how you doing, man? Oh, it's for babies. Hey, whoa. Just because there's a baby on the picture doesn't mean it's for babies, my guy. Welcome in, anime dude. Or do I say anime X dude? Because like with Hunter x Hunter, you have to say Hunter x Hunter, not Hunter x Hunter, right? So like, is your name based like that? Like how I'm supposed to say it? Look, help me help you. Welcome in. Welcome to Spy X Family again. Roasted, yes you did. Yes you did. I just like this season is just not working for me. It's just not, all right? And it was so hype at the beginning. Exactly, right, Fortunate? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, this people were, like, hyped up. They said, this is the greatest anime. I hit my goddamn camera. They said it's the greatest anime that ever come out. I've seen people literally lose their minds talking about freaking Spy X Family being so great, so wholesome, so this, that. I was like, all right. And then I watched first season. I'm like, you know what? It's kind of living up to it. There's a lot of good exposition going on, a lot of good development for the freaking Lloyd and and Anya, the family, they coming together and they trying to coexist together, even though they all have all different lives. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I was eating it. I was like, delicious. This feels supreme. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying to myself for the first season. Then I go into this and it's just like, when's it gonna get good? But again, I digress. This episode was the worst one so far. All right. Worst episode so far this week. I'm hoping next week's episode's better, but it looks like they might do another 2-parter thing where they're cutting it in half again. Stop cutting things. If you're going to do this, can we at least try to make something matter? Let's develop some stuff, please. Please. Look at me. Creators of Spy X Family. You do this for me. I know you can. I don't need to see Anya's troll face for the 3,000th time or whatever you want to call it, right? I don't want to have to see that. Look, please. She's more than just a reaction character, okay? Come on now. It's been kind of boring. The last couple, haven't even watched the new episode. Bro, you ain't missing nothing. Avatar, you ain't missing nothing. This I'm talking about this episode right now. This episode felt like filler. It was two-parter. We got this guy named George. I don't know I don't even know if he's gonna matter later on, but it don't even matter. You got that whole thing with him and his family going bankrupt, but then not going bankrupt because he got saved. That's first part of the episode. Second half was just Yor trying to give the goddamn gym clothes to Anya. And it's like, okay, we get to see her acrobatic abilities, but it's like, what do we know about her as a character and how she is developing throughout this whole situation? You know what I mean? We don't even get to see inside of Yor's mind. We just know that she's very athletic and dangerous. It's like, yeah. All right, let me move on. Let me move on to the last show. All right, so the last show, ALT final season. Wait, final season part. What you talking about? What you talking about, Zaya? What you talking about? There is an arc coming up, so that should be good. Oh, thank God. I really hope so. I really hope you're right. I don't know. I don't read the manga. If you're right, thank God. We need an arc. We need to stop with this filler stuff that's going on here because this is not good. Please save me. All right, I don't want to drop this. But let's move on to the last show. I believe it's the last show, right? And that is Bleach. That is Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War. Let me sit up for this one. Let me sit up for this one. I gotta. We eating good, baby. We eating good. This is what I'm talking about. I should have done that. There was actually like some crumbs in there. I'm pretty sure y'all saw that. But we eating good with Bleach. This episode, I already knew it was gonna be good. I already knew it was the freaking fight when you have Yamamoto. Give it a new sight. I did not expect the animation to go off this hard. Okay? What? There was the moment where we got like these freaking dudes, they fighting and stuff. He got freaking Yamamoto screaming. He said, "Rawr." I was like, what is this animation? It's like, why is it beautiful? Initially, I wasn't going to do like a live reaction to it, but I had to make a live reaction video. I have videos of live reactions of Bleach and of Chainsaw Man I need to put up. But God, yes, Yamamoto popped off so much. I was like, bro, I couldn't even, all I kept saying was like, oh my goodness, like the things that this man was doing. That Bankai Zanka no Tachi was freaking amazing. This animation was by far some of the best animation I've seen in anime. And this is freaking from like just a show. This is not a movie, guys. This is a show. I was like, they're not kidding that this looked like movie style animation. This is, I'm impressed. I didn't know they can get in their bag like this. I don't know who's the animation team again. Round of applause. Okay, because god dang, just based on sold up animation, they ate this episode. They said you gonna see this man's final moments with his Bankai, baby. With his Bankai, I'm gonna show everybody why he's in charge. Exactly, right? This is why he's the head captain. He's the head man in charge. He is number one. He's numero uno. Okay? Don't play with him. I was like, man, this was great to see. I was hype as heck when I initially saw this in the manga, and the anime didn't disappoint. It actually exceeded my expectations. 100%. Without a doubt. I didn't know this. I knew it was gonna look good, but I didn't know it was gonna look this good. I'm shaking just thinking about it. This is impressive. This Bleach episode was amazing, but he died in the end. Yeah, he did die at the end. That's the unfortunate thing, right? And he literally gave up too. He said after all that happened, he sat there. It's like, oh, I really can't do nothing. I guess it's over. I guess I have to die now. And he just got cut. He just got cut by the real Yuha. So, as excuse me. So, as hype as this episode was, and I love this episode. I love this episode. Y'all probably already know which anime it is at this point. That one anime of the week. But I do have a gripe, and I had this gripe when I first read this manga. When I first read this fight, I mean, right? And that is the fight itself. like the problem is, and this is a question for you guys too, right? Because it boggles my mind. As we know, Yamamoto has like some of the highest Rosaitsu there is, right? His stuff can literally pull down lieutenants with ease. You know what I'm saying? Like he is on another level when it comes to his Rosaitsu levels and stuff, right? So it's just fun. It's weird to me that this man, Lloyd Royd, right? He was able to transform himself into Yuha. But how is he able to withstand the pressures of everything, especially with a Bankai, mind you, right? The pressure of being around Yamamoto like that. Upset, mind you, too. That's the other thing. He's upset. He's putting all his power out there. And you're telling me this man, Lloyd Royd, is strong enough to actually sit there, not only just sit there, but actually try to compete with Yamamoto. And not only that, before the Bankai even happened, right? This is one of my other gripes. Yamamoto went with like a flash step, couldn't even see the dude. He got cut. How is his blue vein strong enough to actually block that? That should have cut that man in half with ease. They said this in the show, right? Where the higher the Rosaitsu is, the easier it is to cut something, right? That's the whole gimmick of Kenpachi Zaraki. Regardless of what this man's blocking ability is, if this dude's Rosaitsu is that much more, shouldn't he have been able to cut right through that anyways? You know what I mean? That was like the first odd thing about that whole thing. And then just the fight itself is just kind of weird that this fake was even able to stand toe-to-toe to some degree in there. I'm just saying. Sit up here, I believe. Yeah, they put their foot in, man. They put their foot in. Watch the eyes and seeing was hype. Yeah. See, this is the thing though. He messed up right there. You don't want to walk in the presence of Aizen. He sat there thinking like, oh, his Billy ain't gonna do nothing. See, that's what everybody thinks. Like, I feel like you're already probably gonna come back at some point because I believe his ability's always active, right? Right? When it comes to Aizen, right? I believe it's always active. So I'm assuming that's why even Aizen said like, hey, you don't want to be around me too long because you gonna get got. So I'm assuming his ability is active there, which means it should hit him, right? So it's just like, as hype as that was a mistake on his part. Because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you should have let the Lloyd Royd sucker go over there. you know what I'm saying? You should have done that. Though at the same time, makes me wonder if Aizen would have noticed if that's not him though. Because I mean, it's Aizen though. I'm not sure he's supposed to do in that situation. Actually, if you really think about it, all I know is if I was Yuha Bach, I wouldn't chance it, even if he's like locked up, because I believe his ability is still just active regardless of what you do. Because like I don't know what the the situation is that allows you to get hit with this Koikatsu it gets you, but it's I don't know. It's dangerous. That's all I'm saying. He has the best Bankai, not Bankai. This is Shikai, mind you. He has the best Shikai, the best freaking ability in Bleach. That's what makes him so OP. Forget the Hogyoku that allows him to live. The freaking stupid Koikatsu he gets you is freaking bust as heck. Aizen is the most broken character in all freaking shonen. Like, like I said, I don't know why Yuha decided to do that, but it was a nice little like meeting that they did have. I enjoyed seeing that little back and forth, even though they didn't even talk that much. And it's weird too, right? Because he went over there and only talked to him for like 2 seconds. He said, "Hi, Aizen, be a part of my crew, maybe? Be part of my crew, maybe?" And I just said, "No. Well, I gotta go." It's like, oh, all right then. I mean, it is what it is, I guess then, right? It is what it is. But I don't know. Just keep a lookout on that because I don't know. I mean, but again, Yuha is pretty powerful too. So I just know, like I say, it gets you scary, bro. But regardless, man, Yuha Bach got it in. He ended up cutting that man down with ease after he used all of his Bankai. And that's the other thing too. There's the other gripe I kind of had. Let's just say, right? Because Yuha actually explains to him how he can take a Bankai, right? He said, "I don't need to know your ability. I just wanted you to exhaust your power so I can go ahead and just take it. And I'm the only one that can actually handle your Bankai in the first place. So that's why I just waited for Lord Roy to to hold you off this long enough so I can go talk to Aizen so I can then take your Bankai." That's literally all it is. There wasn't any like thought process. There wasn't anything like that kind of prevented you from taking someone's Bankai, basically. Because Yamamoto initially thought, which is not a bad thought, that you need to actually know what the ability does. You need to know how the ability works. Otherwise, you can't just take the Bankai. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But it's like, honestly, I kind of wish that was actually the reason, as opposed to what Wax was saying. You all Wak, he said, actually, no, that's not. You kind of wrong in that, because at least it would have made a little more sense in some regards, but at the same time, not really, because okay, let's say that is the case, right? Why did he use all of his abilities? He said, Zanko no Taki, no Zanko no Taki, east, southwest. Like, he said, you get to see my entire Bankai, but you can't take it though. It's like, it didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you really think about it in the writing aspects of it, it's like, okay, so if he really thought that, why did he use his whole ability? It's weird, right? It's weird. It's not like you couldn't defeat him without that. The only argument I have based off of that, though, is simply because he didn't want to waste time this time around, right? When he fought him the first time 1,000 years ago, he didn't get the job done. He didn't kill him. So he didn't want to hold off on his ability, right? So I'm thinking that's why he's like, you know what, let me just go all in. I know this is him. Let me just go ahead and kill him. You know, he is a very prideful kind of guy and will make those kind of mistakes. You know, he is that kind of guy like that. That's why he didn't let Orihime heal his arm and crap, because he's too prideful for that. This man walking with one arm. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the writing that was a little weird with this particular fight that I have a gripe with, but it's still hype nonetheless. And it's still a turning point for this entire arc. This showcases just how serious this whole battle is, how serious this arc is going to be. They're not playing around here. People are getting bodied. Kira was the one to get a hole in his chest. You know what I'm saying? And now we got Yabak on the, not Yabak, now we got Yamamoto on the ground. The head captain of all people. Sasakibe is gone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people are dying. This is a serious matter here. So this is why I love this arc in the first place, because this thing, man, they don't be playing around. But with that said, we are done with this section here talking about the anime. Obviously, I'm not even going to waste any time here. I'm not even going to waste any time. Easily, without a doubt, 100%, anime of the week is obviously Bleach. It's obviously, like, Bleach got it. Bleach got it. It did it. All right. That fight scene, the animation, studio, again, round of a goddamn applause for the work that you're putting in. It's amazing. I'm hearing that Taita Kubo is 100% like in it. Like, he is directing this stuff. He's making sure that all the information that needs to be done and what needs to be skipped, they're putting it all together. They're making this work. They're making this work. I'm assuming he's the same. I think not Yamamoto. I think Taita Kubo is the one that's kind of skipping over the Shinji stuff, because I guess in a lot of ways, the Shinji and Hiyori situation that they have that was in the manga, if you guys read the manga, there's a whole thing that's going on there, but they're skipping that basically. So, I mean, in a way, I guess it's not that important, all things considered, from the aspects of what this arc is actually all about. So I get where they're going with this, and if that's Taita Kubo's decision, I'm gonna go with it. Of course, it's Bleach. It's amazing. Exactly. At least this week, it had to be, without a doubt. I knew from last week that this was gonna happen, because but I didn't know it was gonna be this good. Again, I'm thoroughly impressed by it. Like, man, they know what they're doing. But all right, guys, this is much longer of a discussion I see from the anime aspects this time around, because usually it takes about 30 minutes to get past it, but we're already 40 minutes in. But we can go ahead and jump right into the hot take section. So this is about to be interesting. This is going to be interesting, guys. All right. I'm curious to how y'all gonna feel about this, because this could be in some ways a touchy subject, right? But it's more or less, when it comes to voice acting, and it's not about the dub or sub or anything like that. It's not about the battle, right? What I'm going to propose here is that I don't necessarily care for, like, because like right now, as I'm noticing, right? Well, you can use Bleach. We just talked about Bleach for an example, here. The Bleach voice actor, the one that did Chad, right? He was like a Caucasian American, right? He stepped down from his role because he felt like he couldn't represent that particular character, even though he's literally done 360 some episodes of that character at this point. And it's like, I mean, okay, I don't know why you're changing up now all of a sudden. It's like, these change-ups are always so weird to me. And if you can play the part, I don't really mind if you're playing that type of character, right? That's just kind of like my mindset. So, but he stepped down and allowed someone of that same race of Chad and everything to like play the part basically. Now he's good. Like the guy that's playing Chad sounds exactly like the same. Sounds exactly like the other guy. Like I don't even see a difference. That guy's good. He's really good actually. So I don't mind him. Granted, if I'm not mistaken, Chad don't really do much in the 1,000-Year Blood War, so it's not really that big of a casting change. But regardless, it's just like this is where the fun begins. Oh yeah, Avatar, yeah. This is where the fun begins. Like this is about to be something because like I don't agree with it. I don't agree with these like random changes. The same thing they did with Family Guy with Cleveland. We had this again another Caucasian dude playing Cleveland. It's like, oh, I can't do that no more because I couldn't properly represent this. Like, sucker, you've been playing this sucker for how many episodes? And now you can't do it. It's just like it's a weird take to have. I understand we're trying to progress in these ways, but I actually have what's negative about this, and I don't like this. The reason why I don't like this as a voice actor, as like okay, I'm an aspiring voice actor. I would love to voice act. I don't want to be typecasted because this is where this is going. Because you're telling me basically that I can't play other characters outside of my own race, basically. So I have to play a black guy, basically. You know what I mean? I can't play some of these other these Japanese characters in general, then, right? Right? Because I can't properly represent that if that's the case. If we're going that route, you know what I mean? Voice acting in general is one of those things where you're able to become anything, so long as you're able to respect the culture and understand what you're getting yourself into and actually properly, like, it'd be weird if I was like a Russian guy, right? And I don't know anything about Russians, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't properly do like the accent or a stereotypical accent. Then you know that's not appropriate way of actual acting. Then I'm not fit for the role. You get what I mean? I'm just not fit for the role, not because I'm black, but because I can't properly portray that correctly. You know what I mean? The dude that was playing Chad, he did a really good job, in my honest opinion, and being able to actually voice Chad, voice Sato. It never dawned on me that this dude was like white or something. You know what I mean? Like that never came to mind. Voice acting is one of those things where you're capable of being anything. Like you look, I'm not a monster, but I can play a monster. You know what I mean? Like that stuff, like this stuff it shouldn't matter in voice acting. When you're an actual actor, when you have yourself as a centerpiece, your presence, your face, your skin tone, you know what I mean? All that stuff that starts to matter because you have to play a certain role and you can't, you know what I mean? You need to find ways. You need to find ways to then be able to actually be in that kind of situation, depending on the movie, obviously. This goes into a whole deeper meaning, or discussion, but I'll leave it at that. It's just like acting and voice acting are two different things, and I feel like we're kind of losing sight of that, is my thing. I feel like once you start voice at the character, you should continue, but if you start from the have a voice actor from that race, interesting. If it's not an offensive stereotype, I don't see the problem. Same. That's what I'm saying. I don't see the problem so long as you're not doing a stereotype, because that's when it becomes a problem. Because then you're not even understanding the actual context of things that you're doing. You're just going based off of like stereotypes, and that's not good. You don't go based off of stereotypes. But the short stuff comment. My thing is, like I said again, I don't want to be typecasted. It becomes to me, it actually limits, like with that type of thought process, it kind of limits you on being able to even voice act, to be able to be these characters in the first place. Some of the most iconic suckers are other races. You know what I mean? But you don't know this. Being the voice of a character transcends race and other things like that. But it all depends on how you can depict that character. If you're doing it correctly and you're doing it in a just manner, you know what I mean? Wonder if this is going to affect women playing male characters. That's also true too. See, that can go into a whole other thing, right? But I don't know if that's a big subject matter, only because usually women that voice act like male characters they're like boys, and they have a better chance of being able to portray like a teenage boy in a sense, right? For that type of voice acting, because guys can't get their voice to be that high pitched and to have that crackle. You know what I mean? So, but again, they're more fit for the role to do it. That's why it's not, to me, not a big thing, not a big deal. You know what I mean? So it's like, we should be able to ultimately just be who we want to be. We shouldn't limit ourselves to just typecasting ourselves. That's literally the last thing we need to be doing. This is not good. And I just don't like the direction that we're going with, especially with voice acting. And it's so weird for anime voice acting, actually. That's what's so weird about this. Because that's what's kind of throwing me off, because we're trying to worry about like the race aspects of this. Because if that's really the case, if you really want to get this serious with it, right? We need nothing but Asian cast members in. Because like most of the people that voice these characters are not Asian. Like, they're not Asian. They can't do that. You know? Like what are we doing here? This is similar to how some people say you can't cosplay this character because of race, gender, etc. And that's also true too. You know what I mean? Because it's like you should be able to pretty much do whatever you want to do. Especially with cosplay. Cosplay at the end of the day is that costume play. You're having fun. You're not. It doesn't have to be the most super accurate thing of all time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we need to have freaking this Asian girl that looks exactly like Nami with the exact hourglass figure. We need exactly all that. If you can't do that, if you can't look like this with the stomach and the boobs and all that, get about. Don't stop it. God. It's mostly just trying to give jobs to people of color. Can get typecasted, but also play other characters regardless. It's mostly just limits white people. and I mean that's true. That is true. I understand that, and I'm glad that we are pushing for just minorities in general to be voice actors. I just don't want to get to a point where, okay, we are getting these roles right, but they start typecasting us. Because like, think about it. Like, we got Ogun, for instance, in Fire Force. They say we got to make sure we got to get a black guy up in there, otherwise they ain't gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to always play the role of that character just because of our skin tone. You know what I mean? That's my only thing. It just concerns me where we might be heading when it comes to this. But I do agree with you on that one, that we should have been doing this. Again, my thought process with voice acting is you can literally be anything. So long as you can fit that role, it doesn't matter what nationality you are. It doesn't matter where you came from. So long as you can actually fit that role, that's all it should matter. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I could probably bring up, like, someone could probably bring up like an argument, like, all right then, well, are you okay with a Caucasian man being Black Panther? You know what I mean? Like that whole thing, because they always bring that up. They brought this up again with Wakanda Forever. They say, oh, you want to do that? And it's just like, come on now. Like, his roots are tied into that, but at the same time, but if we're doing based off of voice acting, I mean, if the sucker can do it and actually properly portray it, I can't really say no necessarily. If it's in voice acting. Now again, if it's regular acting, come on now. All right. I also can stop some of the popular VAs from playing everyone. That's also true. That's also true too. Like I said, I'm not saying that there isn't good things about this, because I am seeing more and like fresher voice actors finally, right? It's nice to see, because I keep seeing them post on Twitter, because I follow a lot of voice actors. So I see that these people, there's new voice actors finally, because for the longest time, Funimation had a stronghold on it, right? And we had the same like 8 guys playing all the characters. Like, man, it's like, who I'm trying to think. Like, I want to say Sean Schemmel, because Sean Schemmel does only like Goku usually. Christopher Sabat, for instance, could be a good one, where that man, he was in everything. He said, man, I could play that guy. I could do him too. Hey, look, man, my voice is versatile, baby. Let's go. I got this. I believe that. But no, they always had like in-house acting, usually. That's what was going on here. So I do like that we are expanding into a realm where there's just more voice actors in general. It gives more people a chance to have a job in the industry that they've been wanting to do, you know what I mean, for the longest time. Especially for someone as my skin tone, right? That's actually promising for me that we're actually moving in that direction. I'm just concerned, like I said, ultimately at the end of the day, that we're gonna get typecasted to a point where we can't really be these other characters. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping that that isn't the case here, because voice acting is more than just being a certain race, you know, or voicing a race. And that's my main argument. That's my main argument. So this is just my hot take. Yeah, it's nice not hearing the same 5 voice actors every anime. Exactly, right? Like they do. It was pretty bad back in the day. It was pretty bad back in the day. It was actually getting kind of annoying where it's just like, all right, you're not even changing your voice. I know exactly who you are. Like, come on now. Like, please. That Pakistan play Simon and oh really? But they could have gotten a different person to do the voice of the Russian guy. I mean, yes, but at the same time, he did good. Patrick Stiles did a good job. I felt. I'm not, but again, I can't. I can only say so much because, in of itself, that could be like a stereotype. Now I'm thinking about it too, because let's go to Black Lagoon then, because Black Lagoon had all type of diversity in there. I know they had a black voice actor for what's the freaking what's the name? Why it was there and now it's gone. It's gone. But I just know they had a lot of diversity in that show, and there was like an Asian character in there, and they had that whole broken English. It was I don't know. It fit within the character, I felt, but now you make me wonder if that's appropriate or not. Now you make me wonder. You make me wonder now. Like I said, this brings up a lot of different questions, especially when it comes to someone like the older dubs that we've seen, that we've experienced ourselves with. So I don't know. I just felt like, again, Patrick Stiles, that's a good example though of somebody I felt like did a decent job at portraying that character. You know what I mean? I think he did a pretty decent job overall in doing what he did. You know, like that guy's a good voice actor. But that's what I'm trying to say. That's what voice acting is all about. That you're capable of doing that. If you're capable of playing the role, play that goddamn role. Dutch, thank God, thank you. I don't know why it's like everybody came to mind, but then Dutch like literally disappeared. But Dutch, yes, Dutch, because I'm pretty sure he was played by a black guy. I believe. I could be wrong. I could go look up the goddamn list right now, but we ain't gonna do all that. We ain't gonna do all that. But that was like this is like the main topic when it comes to my hot take, and I am curious to know what your guys' thoughts are ultimately when it comes to this subject matter. So for the ones that watch this as a video, please leave it in the comment section below. We will have timestamps for every section of this, of everything that we talked about here as the video. And yeah, this is the hot take section. Hopefully you guys are actually like this little hot take, because I feel like this is a pretty hot take, and this can touch on a very sensitive matter at times. A very sensitive matter at times. One last thing I actually do want to talk about real quick is again, I'm talking about like, you know, like different characters getting recasted and stuff like that, because like Bleach had a lot of different recastings, and I noticed that that Bleach also had to recast Ikaku, because obviously, you know, everything that happened with Vic, he can't really play or even voice act at this point, it seems like, anymore. Like, he's still good, and I won't give all my opinions on this whole thing, but it's a lot. And the new guy that we have there for Ikaku, it just kind of makes me miss Vic a little bit, because he's doing an impression of Vic, basically, is what I'm hearing. Like, he's not bad, but he's not that good either, because again, he's trying to like mimic the voice, so his acting suffers from it. Is like the problem I'm noticing. This is something I will actually talk about in a separate video when it comes to like my dub thoughts on not only on Bleach, but of like Chainsaw Man and any of the newer shows that came out that have a dub. Same thing with Mob Psycho with Shigeo. That whole thing was weird, because you guys know the situation that happened with the voice actor initially, right? The one that was playing Mob this entire time until season 3. But they had to recast him, and then they got this other guy, and I can tell right off the bat that he doesn't know what he's doing. It's surprising because though the voice itself isn't necessarily bad, it doesn't quite fit him. It's not as good as the other guy, but you can tell he doesn't understand Mob. He doesn't understand Shigeo as a character, and because of that, his delivery is not correct. Like the way he delivers his lines doesn't sound like Shigeo. That's where it's like you can tell he doesn't know the character like that versus the other guy. And it's like these are little subtleties that I pick up when I'm listening to this because I'm big on dubs. So when I watch this stuff, I do dissect it, and this is just something I'm noticing with him. I can't really watch the dub because of this. I can't watch the dub because he doesn't make me feel like he's Shigeo. He's not playing him correctly, and yeah, that's just how I feel about it. So, oh yeah, Vic Mignogna, yeah, fortunate. He can't play Ikaku, and it's just like it sucks. It sucks in some ways because he's such a great voice actor. I'll give him that. But everything that happened with the situation at hand, it's a lot, and I can see why companies wouldn't want to try to deal with that and try to put him back on because it's a slippery slope of a situation. Let me see. I couldn't even tell they changed the voice actor. Oh wait, for who? You talking about for Ikaku or for Mob or who you talking about? There's a few people that they changed. Like I said, like there's Chad that got a different voice actor and stuff like that. Like with Chad's voice actor, he's perfect. I don't really see a difference. Mila Rose, actually, it just came to me. Mila Rose in Bleach, one of the fractions for Holly Bell. Mila Rose has a different voice actor that's actually of that same race, right? So with her, I have no problem with it either. She sounds literally identical to the other girl. I literally can't tell a difference. So she's doing a good job. I can't tell a difference with her. Oh, for Mob? Oh, really now? Really now? You should actually take the time then, short stuff. Watch something from season 2, and then watch this new season. Watch episode 1, mind you. Maybe he gets better as the episodes go on. But I only watched 2 episodes so far, and with what I heard, it wasn't. It's mostly his line delivery that's the problem with it. That you might be able to tell a difference. The new voice does not capture the emotion of Ma, which is sad because there's a lot in the season I would have liked to see the original actor. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Same thing. Avatar. Same thing. So yeah, I've heard about the Avatar. Yeah. It's like it's just like I was looking forward to seeing what he's gonna do because I actually like the dub. Initially, I liked the dub. I liked Shigeo's voice actor. He was doing a really good job at capturing Mob, like capturing Shigeo. Like he knew how to sound vulnerable when he needed to sound vulnerable. He knew when to kind of like amp it up when he needed to for him. Even though he like Shigeo doesn't really ever amp up like that, but when he does, when he gets upset, he has a way of being able to like change just the subtleties of how he delivers a line, and it really shows like within his performance. It really starts to show the difference from what I'm seeing with this guy because again, when you put a new dude in a show, especially the main character, you don't know the character like that unless you've watched the show or something like that. You don't know the character to an extent to where you can be able to properly portray him. Again, going back to that whole point of can you actually be a voice act? Like, can you actually do the character justice? Are you capable of becoming that character for real? And that's the thing here. That's the question that we all got to ask ourselves when it comes to a lot of these voice actors in general, is being able to actually even jump into a role 8,000 seasons ahead, and can you actually portray it correctly? It's funny because like I'm saying like Mila Rose is good and Chad is good, but both of them don't really do much in this season, in this arc in general. So it's like changing Mila Rose is not a bad thing to do. Changing Chad is not a bad thing to do. Now, if they were to have changed like Uryu, right? Uryu Ishida, or if they were to change Johnny and Bosch, for instance, right? If they change Johnny and Bosch from Bleach, from Ichigo, right? Obviously, it's not going to sound the same. There is a dude that can sound similar to Johnny. He's the guy that plays Soul. I don't know voice actor. I don't know his name, but the guy that plays Soul and Soul Eater, he kind of sounds like Johnny a little bit. So if they like, let's say they switched him with him, I don't think he would be able to actually portray Ichigo Kurosaki the way that Johnny and Bosch does. Johnny and Bosch craves being this character so much so. I don't know if anybody knows this. There was this fan dub or a fan project that came out. I'll say a few years ago, right? Out of the blue, it was pretty decently animated, right? Some ragtag team came together somehow, some way. When they're animating the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, that's what they were doing. They got freaking Johnny and Bosch. I don't know how they did it. I don't know if they paid him or I don't know what was going on, but I know that he has a passion for that character. So I know he would want to be able to be that character. But it's just like odd as heck that it's a fan dub, mind you. The rest of these suckers ain't, they're not official. So it's like, how the heck did they get Johnny Young Bosch to play Ichigo Kurosaki? It's like, huh? The dimple fight felt really off compared to the sub. So you're actually like, are you like caught up almost all the way with the dub then? Because it sounds like you pretty much are. Because I didn't see all that. I only watched 2 episodes of it, and I'm like, I'm not really feeling this guy, and I can see that. I can see that being the case. Because again, again, this guy doesn't really know how to portray this character correctly. But again, that's just me overanalyzing. I do this all the time. I'll probably have some videos of some dub thoughts, so I can start making some actual videos. All I do is like live stream on here and then do shorts. Well, I should have some actual videos where I'm talking about the dub versus the sub, and we have more discussions on that type of stuff right here, right? So I want to go ahead and start making some actual videos and getting that stuff out there. But that's pretty much it for this stream here. Tell me what you guys think about all the subjects that we had happen here. What is your personal favorite of the week when it comes to all the animes that we watched? It doesn't have to be any of the 5 shows we talked about here. It can also add Chainsaw Man as one of the episodes. It can be any other show that you've seen and thought, hey, maybe this show's lit. Also, you guys can put me on. If there's another show I'm not watching this season, but you think it's worth watching, please tell me what the show is. I'll go check it out and see if it's worth putting up on here and discussing within the seasonal talk. Because there is a lot of animes, and there are some shows that I probably am sleeping on. There's a show I saw when it comes to the rankings, because there's a ranking system they usually have every week. I can't remember what the show's called, but it was like ranked number 6. It was like over Spy X Family. But that show apparently is like a little bit popular for some reason. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but yeah, if there's some shows that I'm currently not watching that you think I should be watching, please tell me in the conversation below. Tell me here, like what's going on here. It's an Arc Knights anime. Or this guy. Here we go. Yes, I was watching both to see the difference. Good man, exactly. See, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you make those comparisons. That's how you know what's good and what's bad at that point when you actually see the differences like that. You know what I mean? I usually always try to start with the dub first and then go into the sub if I can. Only because usually when you watch a dub, there's always a moment where you have to kind of readjust yourself. There's a readjustment period when you're watching a dub, unless it's just that good. There are a few dubs that are so good that I can't. That it's just like it's perfect. I don't really have to worry about having to adjust my ears. Like, oh, this guy don't really sound right. You know what I mean? Versus where the subs are at. You know, they tend to get it right. They tend to get it right for their characters. Not always. There are some of those seiyus that are there that be playing some characters that shouldn't be playing these characters because they don't be making no sense. But that's a topic for another video. Maybe that's another hot take I can have. Now I'm thinking about it, because people, for some reason, when it comes to anime community, they do not, and I mean, they do not want to ever criticize the Japanese seiyus or the sub, basically, right? They never want to criticize. They think it's perfect all the time, no matter what. But I disagree. But that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different argument that will be done maybe for next week's seasonal talk. All right, that's what we're gonna do. I agree and say Bleach probably check Marishita Arumaku. Is that the show? Somebody said there was a show that I saw that was kind of hype, I'll check that out then. I'll check that out then. Let me actually copy that from you, so I don't forget. Let me see. But you know what? You know what? Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Let's go over here. See what this show's about. What do we got here? Oh, interesting. Okay, this is not the show I thought it was, but I've seen this character before. This is a Goku. All right, I'll give this a look. I'll check this out and see if it's any good. If you're recommending it, it has to be something, right? They don't miss apparently. Oh, really now? Oh, really now? I don't know about all that. But Cowboy Bebop perfect dub? Yes. Cowboy Bebop has a perfect dub. Black Lagoon has a perfect dub, in my opinion. I'm trying to think of other shows. Trigun has a perfect dub. It's weird because like these are like older shows, and somehow they managed to be able to capture the characters to a T. Dragon Ball Z has a perfect dub, in my opinion. It's better than the freaking sub, because like I'm tired of hearing that squeaky voice in Goku and all the male characters. Honestly, it's like, bro, what are we doing here? But that's not even a hot take. Everybody kind of agrees with that whole sentiment. All right. I'll take from last stream. That was an elephant. All right, I just saw Grace just say that. Actually, you come on, Grace. Come on. Leave the elephant alone, all right? There's no elephants in the room, all right? Eminence in the Shadow. Thank you. Yeah, Eminence in the Shadow. Yes. That was a show that was like on that list, and I'm like, what is this? Is it really any good? Sus. I mean, we could actually go down a list of like some of like the best dubs that we have you ever seen, you know? Because like there are some really good dubs out there that give the show justice. It's hard to say which ones are actually better than the actual sub itself, but there are some that are out there that really take the cake, that I'm like, you know what? This is it. I can't even go back to the sub. You know what I'm saying? But it's very few, very far and few. Fullmetal Alchemist is definitely one, yes. But see, that has Vic Miana in it. See, so look, we're not gonna talk about that. Okay. Attack on Titan is good, but it's not better than the sub. Like Bryce Peppenbrook does a good job as Aaron, but he's not our Aaron like that, right? I'm sorry, not the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something iconic about what the Seiyus do. What the Seiyus do over there for Attack on Titan. All right, I'll give him that. All right. It's good in a generic shonen-esque way and pretty funny. Ooh, you said generic shonen-esque way. So you're telling me there's a lot of shonen tropes in this anime that you're recommending then? Because look, so long as it's better than Fairy Tail, I can watch it. I'll say that much. All right. And so long as it's better than Fairy Tail, I can watch the show. All right. I'll say that much. Thank you, Avatar. Yes, 100%. 100% agree. TBH. I don't even know what the Japanese Seiyus sound like in Yu Yu Hakusho, because the dub is so good. I don't even look at it. That dub is stupid good. It's perfect. It's literal perfection. Well, come on. There was that one cowboy guy but he's not a cowboy. I don't know why he sounded like that. But look, I digress. But like the actual main cast, they did it. That, like, again, that's another show that's older, but somehow found a way. I guess all the voice actors came at the right time and they said, yup, that's it. That's the one. You know what? I don't know how other people feel about this, but Death Note's another one. Death Note has an amazing dub, and I would fight for it and say it could be better than the sub. Yup. I'd fight for it because they did a really good job. But again, the sub's really good too. I'm not discrediting it, okay? I'm not discrediting it. But I have a biasness a little bit maybe towards it because I've watched it like, at this point, like 8 times. I've watched that show like 8 times. I love Death Note. It's one of my favorite animes, right? So I would fight for that show. That's definitely a show that you can watch in the dub. Same thing with Code Geass. Code Geass is another one that you can watch in the dub and be satisfied with it. You know what I'm saying? They do a really good job over there. There are some really good dubs at the end of the day. You just watch yourself watching some 4Kid stuff and some of these other like companies that like to try to change some stuff. Like I know Sentai at one point was doing a thing where in order to have the correct emotions, right? In order to have the correct emotions that they want to portray for these characters, we're not gonna try to fit with the lip flaps. Nope. We're gonna talk and just hope that the emotion is gonna carry over, even if it's like, if you look at it, the person stopped talking, right? The lips stopped moving, but you still hear a voice. Yeah. They did that a few times, and it was freaking like, what do you, I don't know why they thought that. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. That was freaking stupid as heck, Sentai. But I digress on that. Certain science of Railgun is just as good as a sub, I think. Oh, really? See, I never watched that show, so I can't confirm or deny this. I don't own the game in that one. I'm terrible. All right, that's how I know I need to get out of here. Thank you guys for coming in for the seasonal talk. This is always a good time. Always being able to talk about anime and talk about hot takes, talking about some of the spice that is within anime itself. Oh yeah. We will have something else in store for next week when it comes to the hot take. If you guys find anything that would be a good topic or suggestion, or something I could talk about for a hot take, you guys got my Discord. Y'all can always hit me up over there. Hit me up on Twitch, which I will be streaming over there probably in the next hour or so. In the next hour or so, I should be streaming over there onto Twitch, and we'll try to play some Horizon. We'll see. Look, we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll try to play some Horizon Forbidden West. Okay, we're gonna try, but we will be streaming over there on Twitch. Yeah. Not the biggest fan of Dub Light. All right, what? Excuse me. So Avatar, you want to fight? You tell him you want to fight? What you mean? He's amazing. What you talking about? That sucker great. He hit those lines perfectly. What? But no, I mean, hey, look, you are entitled to your opinion. And again, the sub is really good too. So you can't really go wrong at the end of the day. Like they know what they're doing. All right. But no. So leave your comments below on any of the subject matter that we have talked about here today in the comments. For the secret word for this video. If you watch the entire video, right? The secret word I want to have for today is Yamamoto. So I want you guys to put in the comment section Yamamoto if you've actually watched this entire stream all the way through. I want to see Yamamoto's in the comment section. Like this video because it does help with the algorithm pushing the stream out, pushing this to other people to watch it. So please, if you guys can give me a like, I appreciate that. And anyone that came here that is new, there's also new faces in here. If you like what you've seen today, I will be doing this every week. So if you don't want to miss it, so go ahead and give a subscribe. So subscribe to the channel. We have more anime content on the way. So be prepared for that. We got a lot of stuff going on over here in the goddamn break room. Oh yeah. You said Orochimaru, he. All right, buddy. It's been fun. Very, very, very fun, right? Enjoyed today's live. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for also dropping link, Ace. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, all right. I should see you on Twitch. I got you fortunate. Appreciate you being here. Thank you guys all for being here because y'all all MVPs at the end of the goddamn day. All right. Oh yeah. Yamamoto from Hitman Reborn. All right, buddy. You know what Yamamoto we're talking about. We ain't talking about no Hitman Reborn. Even though that show I think needs to get a reboot. But that's another discussion again for another time. All right. I know I can't raid nobody here because like YouTube don't do that. So, usually just leave. But again, I hope I can get to see each and every one of you guys here back in like an hour over on the Twitch channel. And yeah, we'll have some more fun, guys. We'll have some more fun. We back here, baby. We back here. Drink your goddamn water. Take your goddamn vitamins. And I will see you later. Literally later. Like, just watch yourself, all right? Be good, guys. Needs a dub. Needs a dub too. Yeah, it does need a dub. Wait. No, I thought the show did have like a dub. I could be wrong though. All right. You guys on the watch party on Discord? This guy right here saying, look, I'm about to stream. So just so you know. But until then, people,